I've got to really muscle it into place. And I am Optimus Prime. Roll out, roll out.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Guys, I fucking love this movie. Seriously, thank you for taking the time. I appreciate you.
Thank
Of
you.
course, man. Thank you.
I'm going to jump into this. When you become the voice of an iconic pop culture character, people are inevitably going to want to hear you do that voice. But I'm always curious as an actor what the rules are for asking you. Like, will you only do it for kids? Is there a time and place where it's really inappropriate? Like, what do fans need to know about trying to get you to do the Optimus Prime and Megatron voices?
I save it for bill collectors. You know what I'm saying? Like, I try to be as intimidating. I save it for drive-throughs, especially. It's really fun to do in drive-throughs.
Can I get a small little taste of that, of like what a drive-through
Knew that was
Megatron?
going to happen.
I have been saying no because because it's quite a I don't sound like Optimus Prime obviously when I speak, and it's quite a I've got to really muscle it into place. And I am Optimus Prime.
We are actors. We have to like
contort my sort of
That
body
counts.
into a
I
certain
got it.
position.
That still counts.
That's all you get.
There you go. There it is.
That was fair enough.
It was. I found it a lot more physically, like vocally, but the physicality of it was a lot more challenging than I.
And the safety of the booth, because like you're in there by yourself,
Yeah.
like you can just like you're allowed to play and do all the crazy things you want. Then when somebody comes up, it's like do the voice. It's like, oh wait, hold on.
Roll out, roll out.
I have to tell you guys, I as a kid, I love this job, and because I grew up laying on the floor, sitting too close to my TV, and watching the old Transformers cartoons. So you have no idea how much I wish I could tell 7-year-old me that my job is to talk to my heroes, people about Transformers and Marvel and Spider-Man and King Kong movies. I'm sort of curious, what is a moment, a scene from one of your past movies you most wish 7-year-old you could have seen?
Wow. You go. You start.
I think I remember the very first Thor film. We had the trailer launch at Comic-Con. I'd never even been to Comic-Con. I had no idea there was going to be 7,000 people in Hall H. And the first trailer played, and my publicist was like, do you have any idea what just happened? And I was like, wow, I think I liked it. And I still get sort of tingles around, in the back of my neck around like, I don't know exactly what you're saying. What the 7-year-old version of myself would have thought. I'm sure he would have been pretty stoked. And I still just am so full of gratitude for the experience, all of it. Same as you're saying. It's how lucky we are to be able to inhabit these places and these roles and play these characters.
Same for me. I mean, my 7-year-old self, out of all the things I've been a part of, I'm still in shock. From Fastest to Spider-Man to even Godzilla. I'm just like, I remember that I never saw people like me occupying those spaces. And so like now to see it and see kids see it is still something like the fact that there's a Miles Morales just means so much. It's so, the fact that I got to play a superhero that, is a part of like an eternal team. Like that it still is. And now Megatron, like even now I'm just like, I can't, like there is a Megatron over my shoulder that I'm the voice of. And it's like, so I try to remind myself of that all the time. It truly means a lot, and I always try to do a lot of the things for my 11-year-old self. It was my 11-year-old self that was truly. So I try to do that all the time.
It's so funny that the stuff that I used to get made fun of for loving is now like the cool stuff that all the
But that's how it goes, right? We were always ahead of the curve, like we were always the ones ahead of the curve. So it's like, always hold on to that stuff. I tell people all the time, I was like, who cares? Like, I love my inner geek. I love my inner nerd. I will always be that guy because that's the guy that will actually hold it precious and take care of it. Like you really care. Like, and it's ownership. It belongs to us. It's our thing. We care about them.
Very much so. They're trying to pull me out here really quick, Chris, if you don't mind. I'm hosting a special here in Chicago called The Moments That Made Us, where I look back at the most iconic, memorable movie scenes of all time. And I was wondering if you could just really quickly take me back to the set of the first Avengers, where they do that iconic shot in the circle where it swings around to that Alan Silvestri. I was wondering, do you remember that day on set? Do you remember any details about that day?
Yeah, it was anything but. It felt anything but iconic. I'm shooting in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It was like 400 degrees. We're all covered in leather, plastic costumes, and then doing push-ups in between takes to try and get a pump on. And it was so hot. everyone's like, "What is this shot? What are we doing?" It's gonna, and the camera's gone here, and there was a technical issue, and no. And we're on a sound stage, it's like green screen, and it's always the way. It never
That's
feels the
how it
romance
is.
of how it lands on screen.
Yep.
You're like, wow, that's
Yep.
what we were making.
Yep.
Was the sort of the contrast was pretty extreme, but yeah, memorable
That's why
moments
you
for
should
sure.
never look behind the curtain for the wizard.
Nah,
You should literally just like
yeah,
just let it be what it is to you, because what we're going through on the other side is like, what are we doing? Like,
yeah,
but the fact that it's still impactful, like even right now, I'm sitting here playing it in my head, and I remember watching that and was like, this is unbelievable. The dust, all of that,
yeah, all of it.
your golden locks flowing in the
That's
wind,
right.
man.
Yeah,
Uh,
fan
it's
living.
so nice to see moments like that.
Well, so nice to see this movie. You have no idea how much I wanted this movie my entire life. So thank you for giving it to me, and thank you for always making work that makes my job
Thanks.
easy. I truly do love you guys. Thank you very much for your time.
Oh,
Oh,
thanks, man.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.